I'm from a grimy era, let's talk about it. Gotta keep a pole, can't walk without it. Did some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. Seen some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. I'm from a hood that's thorough, they don't play here. And they don't play on these blocks, it ain't a daycare. A new kid gets shot every day here. I guess that's why my heart colder than the rain there. dvderatv back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now today we gonna do something a little different. I'm just gonna talk on this topic and give y'all some hip hop history. Now Cameron had a song with DMX that was supposed to be on his debut album Confessions of Fire called Pull It. Now one thing I noticed about this record, Cameron flow sounded a lot like Drag On, or should I say Drag On sound like Cameron, because Cameron seemed to believe that Drag On stole his flow. If y'all didn't hear the record Pull It, go on YouTube, search it, and listen to it. They doing the same flow pattern. Now, if we go back to like 1998, Cameron and Drag On had the same little flow they were doing.
Hey, yo, you might see Cam in designer underwear in a recliner leather chair. Reminders everywhere.
You better throw your boots on and your unflammable suits on, cause I'm coming through in the Yukon. Black tenant with gats in it.
Now, Cam was out first before Drag On, and the first song we was introduced to Drag On was on DMX's first album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, on For My Dogs, and Drag On wasn't really using that flow then. And For My Dogs is actually the second song that Drag On ever recorded.
You show up on the song For My Dogs.
Yeah.
And that was the second song you ever recorded in your life.
It's crazy you knew that, yeah.
And Drag really wasn't using that little fast flow until he got on DMX Rough Riders Anthem remix, and Cam had been using that flow already, like on songs like 357, Horse and Carriage, and Pull It, as I mentioned before with DMX.
Hey, yo, you might see Cam in designer underwear in a recliner leather chair. Reminders everywhere.
So Cam felt like Drag On stole his flow, supposedly. And it gets so real, I'm seeing people saying originally they thought Cameron and Charlie Baltimore was on the Rough Riders Anthem remix instead of Drag On and E. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of funny, actually. Now, supposedly this beef with Drag On and Cameron started with Cameron doing an interview saying Drag stole his flow or something like that. I couldn't find no residue of this interview on the internet, so I can't use it for a reference. But supposedly Cam said basically, you know, Drag stole his flow and he can give him some advice. I believe that's what people saying. Now, if you're familiar with this interview, jump in my comment section and let me know. Hit the comment section if you're familiar with this interview. Now, after this interview, I'm hearing that Cameron put out the That's Me track. I love that record. I never realized he was throwing shots at somebody. And there's some lines basically where he getting that Drag On. Now, it's being said that these particular lines were aimed at Drag On by Cameron. And he says,
I could show you some ice, throw you advice. You not that good, dog. Who told you you nice?
Crew, switch siders. When I come through, hey Cam, Riders. So if I had to reach, I'm guessing the Riders line is like basically replacing Rough Riders, saying they Riders, not Rough Riders. And you know, he was cool with the Locks and DMX or whatever. So when they see Cam, they probably show him love. Now for y'all that's gonna say Cameron was cool with DMX and the Locks was cool with DMX, remember in the 90s, in the 2000s, early 2000s, rap was very competitive. Rappers who was cool with each other took shots at one another. And even if you was on the same song, like they might diss each other. People was getting on people's songs, then dissing them, you know, trying to have the better verse. It was done a lot around this time. I'm telling you, there's a lot of shots that people took back in its times that you might not even know was for somebody else.
You actually took shots at Jay on that song, yo.
I always took shots in verses. That's what it's about.
I'ma rhyme with y'all. Y'all dope, but let me get at y'all real quick too.
Yeah.
So them lines definitely could have been at the Rough Riders. Now it's said that Drag On responded to Cameron on Down Bottom with Juvenile, which was the single for the Rough Riders compilation album Ride or Die. But to be totally honest, I don't really hear no bars that seem like they were aimed at Cam. On that Down Bottom record, I gotta listen to it again. Y'all could go listen to that record again and tell me which lines y'all think was aimed at Cam from Drag On. Now, after Drag supposedly took shots at Cameron on Down Bottom, Cam would come back with his Let Me Know record. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was like 12 in the 7th grade, when I heard Cameron Let Me Know record, I always felt like he was coming at someone. And now it's being said that he was throwing subs at Drag On for stealing his flow. And this is some of the bars he said.
It's getting critical. The way cats biting is despicable, pitiful, unoriginal, this miserable. Flow is ill, huh? Mine was your medicine. Now you in the game, lame, sound the best you ever been.
Now what Cam is saying indirect is Drag basically stole his flow and he's unoriginal, and after he took his flow, he sounds the best he ever did in his career. Now, it's other lines or let me know that could go for drag as well, like when he says, New York must stop biting and start writing and start mounting. When if we start bouncing? So I guess he's speaking on Drag-On, still in his flow once again, and when he says when we start bouncing, I guess he's referring to Drag-On's Down Bottom record that sounds like a Down South record. Now, Cam also says, you the type of dude want to marry a lover and go to the end of the earth like a Mario Brothers, better carry a rubber. And I'm hearing that's a response to Drag-On saying, I got a rough rider and I ain't talking about mine. And Cameron also says, or let me know.
Nothing to me. Not my man, not my style, not my fam, not my pal, not my clique, not my type. Hell no, we not alike.
Now, what Cam is basically saying is there isn't any comparison with him and Drag because they're two different type of dudes. Now, on Down Bottom, Drag do actually say like two sticks rubbing, I'll flame you. Don't try to be me because I ain't you, which could be an indirect shot at Cam for the comparison and their similar flows. Now, on Drag's opposite of H2O album, he has a song called Drag, which seems like he's taking shots at Cameron surrounding the whole situation about him stealing Cam flow. And Drag-On says on the first verse, and who I sound like, come on dog, I drown mics. But it don't compare. Stop talking and come here. You know where I'm at. BX and bring that. I already got mine. Only difference, I pop mine. Now Styles P is actually on his record with Drag-On. He's on the hook and he says, you don't sound like us, get down like us. So that could be a little shot too. Now I did speak to someone I know from Harlem and he did confirm that Drag and Cam had a back and forth around this time. And he also says everyone uptown knew about it, meaning Harlem and the Bronx. Now, it's also said that Cameron and Drag-On ran into each other in the club and they got to speak and squash their beef. So shout out to them for not letting things go too far. Now, the reason I did a video on this situation because a few of my supporters hit me up and said, yo, do a video on Cameron and Drag-On beef. And I'm like, Cameron and Drag-On had beef? I ain't have enough information before, so I ain't do a video on it. And like I said before, there's not a lot of residue left on the internet about this situation. And I believe because the time frame it happened in, and also being that they was rapping at each other indirect. And also when you like a battle style rapper like Drag-On and Cameron, a lot of the bars you say can go for anybody. Even if you taking shots at one person, it usually can go for multiple people. So this is all just speculation. But like I said, when I break these stories, the truth always come out after. I bet you somebody gonna do a video on this next, or Cam or somebody gonna bring this up in an interview or just talk about this whole situation. Or if any of you out there know about this situation, y'all a little older, y'all was around for this time, jump in that comment box and let me know what's up. Tell me what you know about this situation. This was just a fun video I wanted to talk to y'all about. Put this conversation in the air and chop things up and learn more about this situation. Like I said, some of the jabs, it's just speculation. I ain't saying it's all facts. It's just what I'm speculating. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend and tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More content coming, and I'm out. 1.